Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get right into today's video. So for today's video, I'm going to be trying out the new Modelones Vinyl Record Color Cube. This is their solid cream gel polish palette, and these are the newer version in like a vinyl record. I was so obsessed with how satisfying this looks. I loved their previous color cubes. I do have a video up on my channel. I will try to remember to link that in the cards, that way you can check that out if you haven't already. But this is their new and updated version. Taking a look at the back of the box, it just says this product is a high quality, long lasting, easy to apply, low smell, and no harm to skin. It also says the ingredients, direction, storage, warning, and also how to contact Modelones. I will of course also be giving my honest reviews and opinions on this product as well. Just keep on watching. But let's go ahead and unbox this one. So when you do unbox it, the packaging is super nice and I really love it. It's just so fun to open and so satisfying. The first thing we get are the solid cream polish instructions. It just shows the nail preparation, the gel application, and also the gel removal. Very detailed, step by step. We also have some Q&A and tips on the back. So this is really good for beginners if you have not used this gel product before. We also have a gel brush, which is very compactable. It's just you take the piece off, it covers the brush, and you can also put it onto the back to make the brush longer, which is really nice. I feel like overall this product is super convenient. You can take it like in a purse, backpack when you travel. I just think overall this product is a lot better than having a bunch of different bottles of gel polish. Also, just the overall aesthetic of it is just very pleasing to the eye, and I just loved looking at this product. So let's go ahead and actually look at the Vinyl Record Color Cube. When I pulled this out, I was so amazed with it. I know I'm probably going to keep saying that, but just the packaging, it was just so adorable, so aesthetically pleasing, and it just looked so nice. Color palette I received was the Evoke Memories, and in these color palettes you do get 21 different solid gel colors. So let's go ahead and open it up. It's very nice and easy, convenient to open. You just open the top, and of course it's just like a foldable, like a makeup palette. On the top there, you can scan the QR code on your TikTok and it will unlock some fun music for you. We also have the little seal here, which is just for shipment to help, and it has a little message saying about like water droplets or bubbles won't interfere with the product. But peeling that off was super satisfying for me. Seeing the colors, the pigment in these colors was super strong, super beautiful, and it just looks like a eyeshadow palette to me. I love how satisfying this looks. It is also very nice and easy to store. It's a lot different than having 21 gel polish bottles. This is so compact, so easy, and if you don't have a lot of space but you still want to be able to do your nails at home, this is definitely the item for you. We'll be linking this palette down below. They also do have a few others, but I also want to mention that I do have a discount code with Modelones. So if you are purchasing from the Modelones website, you can use the discount code Brandy15 to save 15% off your purchase, and all of that will be in the description box. I also do want to mention that I believe I saw on the Modelones website that if you purchase 2 of these color cube palettes, you can get a free gift with your purchase if you do purchase 2 palettes. I would definitely take advantage of that because that is 21 colors, and then if you buy 2, another 21 colors. I just think these palettes are so fun, and I did decide that I wanted to swatch 3 of the colors before actually getting into the nail set. While I am swatching these, I'm going to go ahead and mention how I swatch them and the easiest way to use these palettes and get the best pigmented color from the palette. So you want to start off by first cleaning your brush, because when they pack the brush, it does have like a little like powder on it to make the bristles stiff. The way I like to clean my brush is just taking some acetone and dipping the brush into the acetone and then wiping it on a paper towel. Repeating that same exact thing when I am switching out colors. You can see me here just dipping it into that acetone and then brushing it on a little, I like to use like the dental bibs, but of course you can use a napkin, a paper towel, anything you have on hand, and just making sure you clean out the bristles of the brush before switching on to your next color. I then, of course, just cured each swatch stick for 30 seconds in my nail lamp. I also do want to mention that these swatch sticks do not have a base coat applied to them, and when you aren't using a base coat, it can make it a little bit more difficult to use these solid gel polishes. But if you are having troubles, of course, apply a base coat. And for the actual nail set I did in today's video, I applied a base coat and could tell a huge difference with how smooth the polishes applied to the base coat versus on the swatch stick. So this is only one coat of the color, and I was so surprised with how pigmented these were. I was very amazed. You could definitely get away with using one thin coat, or definitely apply 2 coats and have that really pigmented color. So let's go ahead and jump into the nail set. I did already apply some full cover nail tips using the Gel X method, and I also have my peel off base coat because I will be popping these nails off in the end. But I just wanted to do some 3XL square nails today. Recently, I've been feeling like I'm doing very short nails, and I wanted to jump back on and do some 3XL nails. So I went ahead and applied them, filed, buffed, did all of my shaping. So now we are ready to jump into the nail design. Starting off with the Modelones base coat, I am going to be applying a nice thin coat of this to all of the nails, and then I cured for 60 seconds in the nail lamp. So looking at this palette, I definitely was getting fall color theme. Like, this palette was screaming fall to me. So of course I am going to be doing a fall nail set today, kind of mixing up some different fall designs that are very trendy recently. Starting off with this pumpkin orange shade, I just knew I had to use like a orange, a yellow, and a red. They were really drawn to me when I was looking at this palette. So I wanted to go ahead and start off with this pumpkin orange shade and use that on my index finger. Like I said, when I was swatching the colors in the beginning, when you are having a base coat applied to your nail, of course I had cured my base coat, but with that cured base coat on the nail tip, it just made these polishes apply like butter. I was so happy with the result. I really loved this palette. The solid gels are also very solid. You can rotate this palette and not have any spillage at all. One nice thing about this too is I think it's very beginner friendly. If you do have troubles with using a regular gel polish because it's a little bit more runny, it may flood your cuticles, or it may just be a little bit more difficult to use when you're doing nail art, I highly recommend trying out some solid gels, specifically these new color cubes from Modelones, because who wouldn't just want to collect all of the vinyl record color cubes? Like, I know I want to. I just think the packaging is so nice and so aesthetic. So for the first coat on my index finger, I went ahead, applied that, cured for 30 seconds in the nail lamp, and now I did go in with a second coat, and also moving on to my middle finger, I'm going in with a coat of that pumpkin orange as well. Skipping over my index finger for now, I'm just going to come right to my middle finger. For this fingernail, I am going to be doing a marble using the polishes, and the best way I like to do this is apply one coat of my base color just to make sure that the color kind of peeks through if there is like an empty spot in the nail. If you do want the nail, like the clear nail, to peek through, definitely don't go in with that base layer, but personally I like doing that just to make sure the nail is full of color and looks good. I also am going in with my other colors of choice. I believe I went with a red glitter, a orange glitter, a red, and a yellow, just sticking with those fall themed colors, and just kind of slapped some dabs of color all over the nail, but not really mixing the color. I kind of just put the color in their own spots. When I was applying the red and the yellow, all I could think of was ketchup and mustard, but honestly, I really loved the marble of this nail. I just think it turned out so good and definitely reminded me of fall. So to marble the colors, I do like to use the brush and also a small dotting tool. This is the easiest way I have found to do a marble with gel paints or gel polish. It's just really easy. One thing to keep in mind though is if you keep mixing and blending the colors, you are going to end up with not a marble, you are going to end up with like one color on the nail. So just keep that in mind. Don't go overboard with your mixing and blending. Just kind of get that perfect ombre or the perfect marble, and then once you like that, make sure you go ahead and cure. And for that nail, I did cure for a full 60 seconds in the nail lamp, and before curing, I did go ahead and wipe the sides because it can get a little bit bulky since I do apply a good bit of gel to that nail. Moving on to my ring finger and my pinky, these are both going to be a nude nail. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the nude polish and do 2 coats of the nude on each of these nails, curing for 30 seconds in between each coat. So here are how the nails are looking. I did go ahead and do my thumb off camera. I went ahead and polished that one nude, but I am just going to be doing another marble on that nail at first. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but I did just go ahead and do a marble on my thumb off camera later into the video. Moving right along onto my ring finger, I am going to be doing a orange French tip using that same pumpkin orange shade that I used on my ring finger. Or on my index finger, I apologize, but I am just taking a liner brush. My favorite one right now is the one from Crafts by 9. I will be linking it in the description box if you do want to check that out. I also do have a discount code where you can save some coins, but I just went ahead and drew on my smile line using that liner brush, and then taking that Modelones brush, I'm just using it to fill in the rest of the French tip, and then I will be wiping the sides and curing in my nail lamp for 30 seconds. So recently I've been loving the like patch design on the French tips. I just think it screams like fall, scarecrow, I don't know. I also have not tried this before, at least I don't think I have, but it was really easy. I thought it was pretty beginner friendly. For the squares, I'm just going to be doing a red square and a yellow square. Some may call these rectangles just because it doesn't, like, not all sides are the same size. So just keep that in mind, either a rectangle or a square, whatever you want to call them. I am just going to be placing a red one and also a yellow one on the nail. Just because I am a little bit clumsy, I did go ahead and cure the red one and then going in with the yellow one here. Keep that in mind if you take a lot of time on your nail art and you are worried about messing it up. Feel free to like pop that hand into the nail lamp and cure that on the nail to make sure it is stuck, you don't bump it and mess it up. Sometimes I like doing that, other times I feel like it'll be okay, let me just really calm down and make sure I get this right, and then I'll just do one cure. But after both of the shapes, rectangles were cured in the nail lamp, I am now going to be taking a black gel polish. I'm just using a black gel polish from Modelones. This color was not included in the palette, but of course I did want to use black. So I am just outlining the rectangles, and then I will also be outlining the French tip, and then I'll just be adding on like some stitched lines to make it kind of look like it's like a patch on the French tip. And of course I did go ahead and outline the rectangles. I cured and then outlined the French tip and then cured, and then went ahead and did like the stitches on the French tip and the patches. So while I am finishing off with this, I do want to wish everyone a happy Monday. I hope everyone had a good weekend. I did go ahead and take a weekend off just because I feel like I've been working a ton recently. I've been really stressed out with all of the PR packages that I have to get to for the month of October. And just like this being my favorite month, wanting to like do all kinds of different Halloween designs and fall designs, just flushing in my head like 24/7. I just felt like I needed a little bit of a break, even though I didn't want to take one, just because I wanted to do all of those nail designs that are in my head. But now that I am refreshed, I took a little break, I am back on it, and hopefully this week I can get out some content. At least my fingers are crossed, and that is what I'm hoping for. I also do want to mention that I did announce the giveaway winner for the previous giveaway I had hosted, so make sure you go ahead and check that out. I posted that in my community tab, but I wanted to mention that. Now moving right along, I am going to be doing a Burberry or a plaid design on my pinky nail, and for me this was probably the hardest nail for me to do, even though I did mess up on my index finger, which you will see in a little bit here. But I don't know, sometimes this plaid design or Burberry print can be very easy for me, and other times it can be very, very difficult, and I don't know why, but this day here I was just struggling on it a lot. Even though I still liked the way it turned out, I just felt like I did have my ups and downs with this nail, and it did take me a little bit longer than it usually would. But of course, all I am doing is just creating some lines on the nail to kind of give it that plaid print and design. I do cure each nail here, or each line, pretty much individually on its own if it is going to be overlapped. For example, I cured that first white line for a full 30-second cure, and then I'm overlapping it with the second line, which I went ahead and cured, and now I'm going in with that orange, pumpkin orange gel paint. The white is just a regular Modelones white gel polish that I put out on a palette. That color was not in the color cube. This orange that I'm using and the red that I will also be using was included in that Vinyl Records color cube though. So while I'm finishing off with this plaid print, I feel like there's really not much to explain about what I'm doing since I am just drawing on some lines. I do want to go ahead and give my thoughts about this palette. I absolutely loved it. First of all, I feel like it was very great for these solid nails. I was able to apply 2 very thin coats to the nail that I felt did not bulk up the nail at all and really get that full opaque color. I also thought that these colors were super pigmented and very smooth to apply, especially on the base coat. I just felt like if you're having problems with using this product, definitely try applying it over top of a base coat and you will definitely see a huge difference. Also, for the nail art, since I did use these for a marble, the French tip with the stitch design or the like patch design, and also here for the plaid nail, I 100% recommend these for nail art. They are a very nice thick consistency, which may be a little bit more challenging for some people to use them as nail art than others, just because when you're doing nail art, you may prefer your polish to be a little bit thinner. But then I do know that some people prefer it to be thicker, that way they can do their nail art and it will stay in place while you're finishing off everything before you go ahead and cure. And also, the one thing about it being a thicker consistency is that it is really pigmented, so that is also a plus because you don't have to like go over your like French tip twice. You can just go ahead and draw on your French tip, fill it in, cure, and you don't have to go over it again, which I really liked. Now that I am finally coming back to my index finger here, I am going to be doing the very trendy like sweater design. I know this was super popular last year around the holiday, like Christmas time, for a sweater, of course, but of course fall is also sweater season, so I wanted to go ahead and do this in this set. And of course, I messed up and forgot to apply my top coat. I don't know why I always do this. Anytime I want to do like a 3D design on the nail, I always mess it up by not applying my matte or glossy top coat first. And then I feel like it just ruins it because the nail underneath isn't like shiny and glossy and it just does not look good. So remember, if you want to do a 3D nail design such as this sweater design, make sure you are applying your glossy or matte top coat before you are going in with the actual detail and nail art that is going to be 3D, just because it would be entirely way too hard to apply the top coat after, unless you don't actually want it to be 3D and you just want to apply the top coat over everything, which you can definitely do, but for this design, I really wanted it to be 3D, and because I messed up with the top coat, I did not realize until I was completely finished with the design. If I would have realized, I would have stopped and like took it off and just like restarted, but I did not realize until I was completely finished and the design had been cured. So what I did go ahead and do for this nail was just go ahead and finish out the sweater design that I wanted, of course, and then I poured over the clear acrylic powder, which I just used a clear acrylic from Modelones, and then I went ahead, cured for 60 seconds in the nail lamp. That is the point which I realized that I messed up and didn't apply that top coat. So what I went ahead and did is just applied the entire top coat to the whole nail and kind of covered the 3D design that I had already done, cured that top coat for 30 seconds, and then I went in and used a brighter orange shade just because I didn't want it to like match or blend too much and then have to like scrap this whole nail. So just to be safe, I did go ahead and do a brighter orange just to make sure it would stick out and I would be able to see it. And then I basically did this same exact thing over again, but having that top coat applied underneath. I hope that wasn't confusing, but I did not apply my second attempt on camera just because it is the same exact thing as I'm doing here. But of course I did it correctly that time and I had the top coat on the underside. I did not restart the entire nail and you couldn't even tell, which I was super happy about. Also for my thumb, I did go ahead and do a marble on that nail as well. And here are how the nails are looking. And it is now time to go in with my top coat, so I did decide to just use a glossy top coat, and you can see here that I skipped right onto my middle finger, which I explained everything that went wrong with my index finger, and I went ahead and did do that off camera after this part here, and you will see the final result of that nail. But I went ahead and applied my top coat to all of the other nails, and then I cured for 30 seconds in the nail lamp. And here is the index nail now that I have redid that nail and actually had it looking 3D. You can tell that the orange is a little bit brighter, of course, just because I didn't want to fail again. I wanted to make sure that you could see the 3D design. I also did go in with a spooky Halloween charm, kind of like a cross. I just wanted to tie a little bit more black into that nail set, and I thought that was the perfect touch. I went ahead and cured that, and then I'm going in with my cuticle oil to nourish my cuticles and, of course, like I always say, top off the nail set. And here is the finished result of the nails. I absolutely loved these nails so much. They are screaming fall to me. I love the sweater, the marble, the French tip, and the plaid. I love everything about these nails, and the trees in the background match them so perfectly. I will be linking the products I used in the description box below, but as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.